Hello. Hi. My dear students, good morning to one and all. This video lesson module number 5 on periodic classification of elements brought to you by Vignan Vidyalayas, Hyderabad. I myself, Venkat Reddy P, teaching faculty, Vignan Madinagoda. Dear students, in yesterday's module, we have learnt about achievements as well as limitations of Mendeleev's periodic table. Mendeleev considered atomic mass is the fundamental property to classify the elements, but failed in front of the scientific committee. Okay? Now, next generation scientist, one of the famous scientists, invented that atomic number from X-ray diffraction studies. Do you know the name of the scientist who invented next periodic classification of elements and successful periodic table that we are following today? And that credit goes to that scientist. Do you know what is the name of that scientist and what is the name of that periodic table? No. No idea? Yes, anybody? There is no idea? Yes. Today, let us discuss more information about modern periodic table. So what is the today's topic? Modern, M-O-D-E-R-N, modern periodic table. Modern periodic table. Okay, na? So this is about concept number 5.3 in our textbook, chapter 5. So concept number 5.3, modern periodic table. Now let me explain one by one. Please stay tuned everyone here. Okay. This modern periodic table introduced by the scientist named Henry Moseley. Moseley. What is that name? Henry Moseley. In the year 1913. 1913. And Henry Moseley invented atomic number from X-ray diffraction studies, and he believed that atomic number is the more fundamental property than atomic mass. So his periodic table is based on atomic number, and atomic number is more advanced, more fundamental than atomic mass. How? Let me explain. For suppose, atomic number is denoted by the symbol Z. You already might have learned the same from 9 CBSE. And if you know the atomic number of electrons are known to you. Yes, number of electrons are visible. For suppose, the atomic number of carbon is 6. Number of electrons are 6. If you know the number of electrons, what is the advantage? It is possible to write electronic configuration. So, on the basis of number of electrons, we successfully can write electronic configuration. What is electronic configuration? Systematic arrangement of electrons in respective or different orbits. Orbits like K shell, L shell, M shell, N shell, so on. That is called electronic configuration. If you know about the electronic configuration, what is the advantage? It is possible to assess the number of valence electrons. Okay. So what is the advantage if you know electronic configuration? Valency electrons are visible. What are valency electrons? The electrons present in the outermost shell of an atom. And if you know the valency electrons, valency is visible. What is the valency? Combining capacity of an atom of the element with the other. And for your kind information, the chemical properties of any atom of the element can be decided by valence electrons and valency. If valence electrons are same, valency also same. In this way, atomic number is more and more fundamental and precious than atomic mass. So, Henry Moseley prepared modern periodic table in the year 1913 on the basis of atomic number, as it is the main fundamental property for his classification. And based on this atomic number, he actually modified the periodic law of Mendeleev. And in this periodic law, after modification, then you will get one more periodic law, and that is called, he formulated one more periodic law, that is called modern periodic law. What is the name of that periodic law? Modern periodic law. What it states that? What it states? Modern periodic law. What it states? Modern periodic law. Very simple. Properties of elements. Properties of elements are the periodic functions of their periodic function of their atomic number. Atomic number. So this is the main statement of modern periodic law. What is that once again? Properties of elements are a periodic functions of their atomic number. So what is the meaning of this statement? So the elements which are present in the modern periodic table are all repeated in regular intervals of time on the basis of atomic number. And if you see the modern periodic table, there are how many groups? 18 groups are present in the modern periodic table, and 7 periods are present. 18 groups and 7 periods. You already might have know what are groups. Groups means vertical columns of the modern periodic table. And what are periods? Horizontal rows of the periodic table. A group has two ends, top end and bottom. A period has two ends, left end starting and right end ending. Okay. So 18 groups, 18 vertical columns and 7 horizontal rows called periods. So since this periodic table consisting of 18 vertical columns, this is also called long form of the periodic table. And along with Henry Moseley, with the effective work of Bohr, Niels Bohr introduced this modern periodic table. Got my point? Now I am going to explain that modern periodic table right now. Okay na? So before going to discuss about modern periodic table, just you once recall this information in a systematic way. In the year 1913, one of the famous scientists, Henry Moseley, invented modern periodic table on the fundamental property called atomic number. He actually discovered atomic number from X-ray diffraction studies, but atomic number is more fundamental than atomic mass. Because if you know the atomic number, it is possible to estimate number of valence electrons through electronic configuration, and valence is also visible, which decides chemical properties. And one more thing, on the basis of this atomic number, he just modified Mendeleev's periodic law as modern periodic law, which states that properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic number. In modern periodic table, there are 18 groups and 7 horizontal rows called periods. Okay. Now let us learn more information about modern periodic table. So anyhow, this modern periodic table is prescribed in your textbook very neatly. So at the time of this explanation, at the time of watching this module, you please keep the textbook with that page number along with you and watch this also. Okay. Let me try to evaluate this one. Modern periodic table. So let me draw the first group number 1. So this is about group number 1. Okay. In group number 1, first box is meant for hydrogen and disconnect with the remaining elements of the group like this. What are they? Hydrogen after lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. End. Okay. This is about group number 1. Group number 1 elements are also called alkali metals. What is the name given to this one? Alkali metals. Okay. And now coming to group number 2. Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. And group number 2 elements are called alkaline earth metals. Yes. So group number 1 elements are called alkali metals. Since these metals are able to form oxides which are able to dissolve in water and forms alkalis. And group number 2 elements are called alkaline earth metals. Since these are also metals which are able to form oxides which are basic in nature. Basic nature is also called alkaline nature. Now move on to group number 3. Now group number 3 actually starts from here. 3, 4, 5, or otherwise one thing we will do. Group number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That means group number 3 to nearby 12 groups are comes under 3 to 12 comes under transition elements. This block is also called D block, which we are not able to study in 10th CBSE level. That's why I am not explaining this group. What is that? D block. Group number 3 to 12 subgroups are comes under which block? D block. And group number 13 onwards again we will execute. Okay na? So how many elements are there in group number 13? Boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium. Okay? Boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium. Now coming to group number 14. Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead, Pb. Coming to group number 15. It's a nitrogen family. What is this family called? Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. And coming to group number 16, this is called oxygen family. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. This is our group number 16. Coming to group number 17, called halogens, salt forming elements. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. Last group, which is very important from our consideration, group number 18, also called noble gas family. Noble gases are also called inert gases, rare gases, zero group elements. Since the valence of these elements are zero, they never interact with other elements. What are they? Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. So this is about first frame main table. First frame of the main table, modern periodic table. So far I covered 18 groups. where out of these 18 groups, first 2 groups and the last 6 groups are very important from our 10th CBSE syllabus point of view, where group number 3 to 12 comes under D block, which is not that much important in our 10th CBSE. And after this main table, even bottom of the table consisting of 2 sub-series, 2 series like this, bottom of the periodic table. And in these series, there are 14 elements each. 14 elements. Each series consisting of how many elements, my dear? 14 elements each. Now, first series name is lanthanoids. N-O-I-D-E-S. Lanthanoids. And second one is called actinoids. Actinoids. So, lanthanoids and actinoids are the 2 series which are separated from the main table due to its special properties. Most of the elements are radioactive. They spontaneously emit dangerous radiations. That's why these 2 series are separated from the main table. Lanthanoids are the elements and which starts from cerium, where atomic number 58, end with lutetium. Atomic number 71. And actinoids are the elements which starts from thorium, atomic number 90, end with lawrencium, atomic number 103. Yes. And these 2 series are collectively comes under one block that is called F block. This is called F block. And this middle 3 to 12 groups comes under D block. And what about the first 2 groups? These 2 groups are called S block. What is the name given to this block? S block. And these 6 groups comes under P block. Group number 13 to 18 comes under P block. Okay. And group number blocks S and P except 18th group are collectively called representative elements. So, in the case of blocks, I divide total modern periodic table into 4 blocks. First 2 groups, group number 1 and 2 comes under S block. Group number 3 to 12 comes under D block. Group number 13 to 18 comes under P block. And bottom of the periodic table, 2 series of like lanthanoids and actinoids comes under F block. And what is the reason why this table comes under 4 blocks? On what basis they named? Actually S block, P block, D block and F block. Let me explain. This information is not there in the textbook. This is the additional information. Try to follow this. Now, in these 2 groups, the differentiating electron. Do you know what is meant by differentiating electron? The last electron present in the orbital is called differentiating electron. That differentiating electron enter into S orbital. S orbital. That's why these 2 groups comes under S block. Now, in these 6 groups, the last electron will enter into P orbital. That's why these 6 groups are called P block. In the middle 3 to 12 and nearby 10 groups, the differentiating last electron will enter into D orbital. That's why these groups are called D block. And what about these bottom 2 series? In these 2 series, like lanthanoids and actinoids, the last electron will enter into F orbital. That's why these 2 series comes under F block. And do you want to know about further information about orbitals? You have to wait for up to intermediate. In the higher classes, there is a possibility to discuss about orbital system, because you know about orbit, or every orbit consisting of orbitals. Orbit is like national highway, orbitals are like vehicles, electrons are like passengers. You try to remember this, especially for this level. Now, whenever you know about this total modern periodic table, I tried my level best to explain this one. Now, how many groups are there in this modern periodic table? 18 groups overall. See, first group elements are called alkali metals. Second group elements are called alkaline earth metals. Third, 13th group elements are called boron family. 14th group is called carbon family. 15th group is called nitrogen family. 16th group is called oxygen family, also called chalcogens. Chalcogens means these elements are able to form ores, minerals, ores. That's why this group is called chalcogens. And 17th group elements like fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine are called halogens because these elements are able to form salts with the metals. And the 18th group is also called noble gases, rare gases, inert gases, whose valence is 0. They do not react with other elements. This is about group information. Now coming to periods information. Now this is the first period. First period contains only two elements. What are they? Hydrogen and helium. And the second and third period contains 8 elements each, from lithium to neon second period, sodium to argon third period, 8 elements each. Okay, and fourth period contains 18 elements. Fifth period contains 18 elements. Sixth period contains 32 elements. Seventh period is incomplete because still some research is going on this period. Okay, but all the periods and the respective elements in those periods are in accordance with one formula, that is 2n square, what you have learnt in 9th CBSE under Bohr-Bury scheme. Now 2 means constant, n means number of main orbits. Since number of main orbit is 1, that means 2 into 1 square. So this is about n is equal to 1 and you will get 2. So first period contains 2 elements. And if you substitute 2 in the place of n, you will get 8 elements. So second period contains 8 elements. Where if you substitute in the place of n 3, then you will get 18. But third period contains only 8 elements but not 18. Why? Why means according to Bohr-Bury scheme of representation from 9th, outermost orbit always could accommodate 8 elements only. Based on that Bohr-Bury scheme 2n square formula, outermost should consisting of 8 elements, 8 electrons. That's why even third period also consisting of 8 elements only. Got my point? Why third period actually 18 no, but why it consisting of 8 elements means that is according to Bohr-Bury scheme, outermost orbit could accommodate only 8 elements. So this is about total 7 periods information about modern periodic table. And position of the element in the modern periodic table. How to find out to which group and period does the element belongs? If you want to know about the address of any element in the periodic table, now for suppose if you take carbon, where is carbon? So if periodic table is there, everyone can know about carbon belongs to group number 14 and carbon belongs to second period. You know very well if this reference chart is there with you. But without modern periodic table in your presence, you easily can tell. How to tell? To which group and period does it belongs? Now, for that, let me explain this information here. Okay? Now, all of you observe this information. For suppose, let me select one element from this group, that is sulfur. Okay? What is the symbol of sulfur? Yes. And what is the atomic number of sulfur? 16. What is the electronic configuration? 2, 8, 6. Number of shells are Kl, M. How many valence electrons are there? 6. So, 6 valence electrons plus 10. You have to add to get the group number. So, sulfur belongs to group number 16. Sir, there is a doubt for the students like you. What is that? Why we should add 10 to 6 valency electrons? Because S belongs to P block. While moving from S block to P block, you have to cross 10 subgroups in the form of D orbital, D block. So in between S and P, which block is present? D block. In D block, how many subgroups are there? 10. So you have to add 10, that is 6 valence electrons, so that you will get the group number. So these valence electrons can decide group number. Now coming to period. How many shells are there in this sulfur? K shell, L shell, M shell. There are 3 shells. So this sulfur belongs to third period. So my dear students, without any confusion, you try to follow in the electronic configuration of any atom of the element. Outermost shell electrons could decide group number and the number of shells can decide period number. For suppose if the outermost shell electrons are 1, it belongs to group number 1. If the outermost electrons are 2, it belongs to group number 2. But if the outermost shell electrons are 3, so 3 plus 10. Why? Because in between D block is there consisting of 10 groups, you have to add 10 plus 3, 13th group it belongs to. If the outermost electrons are 7, it belongs to which group? 7 plus 10, 17th group. But number of periods can decide period number. So if you know about group number of valence electrons known, and if you know about number of shells, period number you can easily know. So this is about the position of any element in the modern periodic table without any confusion. You have to remember just valence electrons and number of shells. So that's all for today's class, my dear students. Tomorrow we shall discuss about one of the very important and interesting topic, that is periodic trends or trends in properties, how they can vary in a group from top to bottom and across a period from left to right side. So till then, my dear students, have a nice day. Thank you.